What is going on, people? It's Matt from Liquid Loans. On today's live stream, I've got a very special guest, a veteran in the crypto space. I really enjoy his content and his perspective. He definitely brightens my day on Twitter when I see him putting quips or dropping some truth bombs on those narrow-minded maxis. So with no further ado, Mr. Randy Hilarski. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, what's up? Hello from Panama, Matt. It's great to have you. Actually, I'm usually the one interviewing, so so now I'm on the other side. But yes, it's great to be here with you.
Yeah, great to have you on, man. I really enjoy your YouTube channel. I like
Thanks.
your walk and talk videos. Sometimes you're in the jungle or you're by a waterfall or the beach. You're living the life over there.
Thanks, man. Hey, life here is good. You know, just about 10 and a half years in living in Panama, and it just keeps getting better and better. People pretty much leave us alone here.
Man, it looks really, really good. Normally, I ask people to give me a bit of a bio and a background, but on this one, I saw a tweet that you put out the other day, and it really piqued my interest. So I'll bring it up and see if you can talk us through this. Remember this one?
Sure. So back in '99, I had just gotten out of the military. I got out in April '99, and right before I got out, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think I bought it at the naval base over in Sicily. I read it, and I was prepared myself for getting out of the Navy. And man, Rich Dad Poor Dad really changed my mindset from having an employee mindset, a government employee mindset, to wanting to find a better way to live and have make a good income. And then I was living in Tampa, Florida, with my brother, who was still in the Navy, and he had a book on his shelf. It was Crash Proof by Peter Schiff, and it had to be 2006. And I read that, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh wow, the system's crashing. This is bizarre. So I started buying silver like crazy. And if anybody knows the history of the precious metals, back in 2006, 2007, silver was about between $5 and $6 an ounce, and then it went up to, and by 2011 it was 50 or so, $50 an ounce. So that was my first taste of having a multiple X move in the financial markets. And wow, thank you, Peter. Even though I think he's a total dick, because I've met him in person twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas in 2 years, and 2 different years. And wow, he was just a total jerk. And then
he's the same in real life than he is on camera.
Yeah, he's exactly the same.
Okay.
Arrogant. So Ron Paul in 2008, remember he ran for president.
Yeah, I like Ron Paul.
And I didn't really know who Ron Paul was prior to this. When he ran for president, that's when I started learning more and more, and the Fed, and talking about corruption in government and all these kind of things. And just really lit a fire underneath my ass and helped me to understand that, look, man, you can't trust anything the government tells you. Don't take any government handouts, those kind of things. I remember when I'll put another little side story there. One time I was in New York State at my house, and my electric or my gas bills every month were approaching $450 a month just to heat my house. And I had an old colonial house, huge. I had rehabbed and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't have insulation in the walls because it was built in 1920. Wow. So it was really old. And I called the gas company, and they're like, oh, you can get help with that. You just need to file it with the state of New York, and the state of New York will give you reimbursements. And I said, I don't want any fucking help from the government. I said, I'll figure out another way. And I hung up on them, right? Because they're not going to help me with my bills. Yeah. So, that was just something. That was because of my Ron Paul time. And then we had Richard. And I admit that in the beginning, I thought Richard was like a peacock. I've been in crypto for a long time. I never really paid attention to him. But he would argue with guys like Tone Bays, who I also knew personally. And I would think Tone was a pain in the ass, but I still talk to him. When we go to conferences, we'd hang out and have a beer and that kind of stuff, and those kind of folks. But Richard was always the outlier, right? He was always the guy that nobody could stand just because he wore his top hat and all that kind of stuff. So I never took him serious, but he did call the top in 2017, 18. And, you got to give him respect for that. And then I saw his video where he did a talk at a conference, and was talking about Bitcoin Hex and how he was going to launch that. And I said, ooh, this is interesting. So this was probably the last week of October, right around there, 2019. And that's the first time I ever took Richard Hart serious. I said, wow, this guy's onto something. So I was a day one Hexagon. I bought in. I was sitting at the mall, not too far from here, with a couple friends. They had a Bitcoin mining farm, and they were doing liquid immersion. When they took the mining stuff into mineral oil, and it was really cool what we were doing. And I said, I stopped the meeting. I said, okay, guys, it's 6 p.m. Hex has just launched. Give me 5 minutes here. I'm putting my first ETH into the Hex thing. And they're like, you're freaking crazy. What are you doing, man? Richard Hart's a scammer. I said, listen, I've watched all the content he's done on this, and I don't think it's a scam. I think this is going to go very well. And that was how I got into Hex. And recently I saw that gentleman. We were out having a beer right around my neighborhood here, and he was there. And I said, hey. And he's like, Randy, what's up? He goes, I wish I would have listened to you with Hex, man. I really wish I would have listened. But that's how that rolled. Yeah, so that was a perfect little intro there.
I wonder how many, well, it's got to be thousands, tens of thousands of people that were fudded out, right, at the beginning. Yeah.
And the thing is, I never even came close to getting fudded out. For me, it was, I bought my Hex. I think it was like the first 10 days or the first 2 weeks. It was something like that I was putting in ETH in almost every day. And then I forgot about my Hex until that first mega pump that we had. And I think it was in March of 2020. And then I was like, holy crap, what's going on? Why is because, you look at your MetaMask and all of a sudden you see
multiple
you see the price go up. No, mine were all staked. I just had a little bit liquid. But I was one of those idiots in the beginning. I didn't know what I was doing with my stakes. So everything was like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, really short stakes. I didn't have anything long. And it was utter chaos in my hex.com. It was I didn't have a ladder. Didn't have any of that. It was just a total mess.
Just random kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I unstaked everything and restaked everything on much longer periods.
Nice, man. Well, you're a proper OG. You got in from the beginning. I guess no one really knew about T-shares then, right? They were just throwing stakes out willy-nilly.
Yeah, we had no idea. I mean, we would have live. I think our first 24-hour live stream, if everybody goes back and watches that, it's kind of laughable because the stuff that we were talking about, we didn't know what we were saying. We were just like, look, all we know is that we're making money and the price is going up to the right. That's all we knew.
So how did you get into crypto then? Obviously, you were in Bitcoin and stuff before.
Yeah, I was. I was in silver and gold, obviously. And when I came to Panama, I got a job to be on the sales team of a gold and silver company here. And real quick, I mean, within 6 weeks, I was doing a lot of sales, and I was doing it all over the internet. This was one, those old phone places, like that Jordan Belfort movie.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. Like the boiler rooms and stuff.
Boiler room. Yeah, it was like a boiler room for gold and silver. But I had my phone. I never picked my phone up. I just had so many connections in the gold and silver world and the social media on Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that I just reached out to my friends like, hey, how much silver do you want? Do you guys want to buy some gold from me? And I was making sales like crazy. And
great.
Yeah, thanks, Crypto Harpy. So I was getting all these sales. So the owners of the company, who were Germans, they said to me, hey, can you manage all of our companies? Can you manage all the social media and the marketing for all of our companies? I said, yeah, absolutely. So that was my first business venture. They actually made a new company for me and my South African buddy. And we just did that full time. I did that for about a year and a half. That was my salary here in Panama. It got me on my feet. Things were really good. And during that time, I was learning about Bitcoin at the same time. I was writing articles. So I write articles nonstop. And obviously, when you're writing about silver and gold during that time, Bitcoin was just getting started. I remember when my South African buddy, we were driving to work one day, and he said to me, he goes, hey, we should buy some Bitcoin. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good, man. We should put like $3,000 in. And at that time, it was $7 each Bitcoin.
What year was that?
2011. So we were like, it had to be,
imagine,
September or October 2011. It had to be right around there because September is when I started doing the marketing stuff. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And we didn't do it, right? And then Bitcoin went to 1,100 or whatever it did.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't buy my first one until January 2014, about $450 of Bitcoin. And then it proceeded to be in a bear market for the next 2 years and dropped down to about 250. But I got to build up my stack of Bitcoin, and it ended up doing very well. And, that's all she wrote, man. After that,
Crypto all the way.
Hex was coming over the horizon, and that's what we did very well. But 2017 was phenomenal. 2018, my son was born. We were not worrying about money by that time, and then by the end of 2019, we're like this. Okay, what are we gonna do? We stopped our marketing company. We shut down our tour company. We thought we were filthy rich, and now we're
bear markets, right?
Yeah, and COVID was actually a good thing for us financially. We stopped spending money. Obviously, we weren't going out. There was a law here in Panama where you didn't have to pay your rent if you didn't want to. So we worked out a deal with our landlord, and he cut our rent by 50%. Instead of hurting our landlord, we came to a middleman deal. I said, okay, look, can I just pay you 50%? He agreed to it. So all that money went into Hex. It's like all the extra money. And then then those US government handouts that they gave everybody, I put that all into Hex. It was good times, man.
I wasn't around in that time, but from what I heard and I've heard about it, it's like COVID kind of was a good time, right? Because it brought the community together, right? People were streaming like Hexo, and everyone was at home, so they were watching these streams, and it kind of brought, I guess, the community closer online.
Yeah,
is that right?
Well, it was the God wheel was brilliant because the lockdowns really started happening in March of 2020, and that's when the God wheel did that huge pump of Hex, and then Hexologist had already been streaming for a while, full time every night. So it just became a regular habit to sit down with my son and my wife. We'd be having dinner and just watching Hexo and everyone do their live streams and raiding. And that's how we brought Joker on. I was there for the Joker live raid, and that's how he got involved with Hex. And it was fun times, man. And then that first 24-hour live stream was a lot of fun. And then we had the second 24-hour live stream. It's like so long ago in my mind, but in reality, it's
2 years, right? We just entered March just now.
It just happened. It just happened. It's ridiculous.
2 years in crypto is like a decade, though, isn't it?
Holy shit! Yeah, and I've been doing crypto full time almost since 2016. It's
well, that's why it's good to have you on, man. You're a veteran. You're a veteran in the space. And one thing that I like about you is you brighten my day, man, because your tweets are really funny, and you put maxis in their place. And I want to ask you about this because I'm a hexagon. I love the hex community, but we have some of these toxic maxis going around. Are they going to come around, or are they going to sit on their moral high ground, or are they going to miss out on all the tasty gains that come along with PulseChain? What do you think about it?
They're going to change when their God, Richard, tells them to change. That's what I think it is. They put Richard on a pedestal. I love Richard. Richard's done great for my family, for many people in the community, but he puts his pants on like you and me. And I guarantee that Richard is not a maxi. He wants PulseChain to succeed. In order for PulseChain to succeed, you have to have tons of projects on it. Look at Ethereum. There's thousands of projects on Ethereum. Well, same thing's going to happen to PulseChain if we want it to succeed. We need those transactions. If you invested in PulseX, the PLSX token, you are betting that there's going to be a lot of transactions in the future on PulseChain. If you don't think PulseX was going to do anything, why would you invest in it?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I'm a Richard Hart maxi. Look, a coin for the sake of being a coin that has no value whatsoever if people aren't using it. Right? Yeah. Hex has value because there's a lot of us using it. There's over 80,000 balls now that are staked. That's big stuff, right?
Yeah, going up all the time.
And it constantly going up. So we need the same thing on PulseX and PulseChain. And, I've actually invested a lot more in PulseX than I did PulseChain. I think that PulseX is going to do fabulous. Yeah, it might have a rough time in the beginning just because I think a lot of people bought it because they want to be able to trade for PulseChain on day one, or the first week or two, and that's understandable. But hey, I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be a bottom feeder grabbing up the coins as people sell them.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, listen, PulseChain, some people think it's around the corner. We don't know. What are your thoughts on it? When do you think that it might go live?
I still think it's this month.
Yep.
I think it'll be this month. I'm hoping, and if it's not, whatever, I hope it doesn't make us wait too long. People are saying we need version 3 before we can actually get the launch. But if version 3 launches next week, it could be 3 or 4 days before they decide to just press the green light and say, okay, time to go. Because all we have to do is see that how the transactions work, that there's no failures of any kind, those kind of things. And it doesn't take long because they've been running version 2 for so long with very few errors. So just try to find all the same exploits, see if they still have the same problem. I think it shouldn't be a problem. I've launched so many projects. I launched over 40, and none of them had big technological issues. It's because the coders know what they're doing. And Richard his coders aren't going to be the guys that I would hire, because he can hire the best. I had to hire the rest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Richard's probably not scrimping and saving when it comes down to talent on that front, is he?
Hell no, he wants the best.
Of course.
Really, you get the cream of the crop. That's why on his website, starting at $175,000 a year for a coder. I know that doesn't seem like a lot of money for a lot of people, but if you're say a top-notch coder in Bulgaria or something like that, that's a considerable lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's sort of what a Google guy will get paid. So I'm sure they'll come over to us, and then they'll probably have other incentives as well.
Yeah, man. Oh, I hope you're right. I really hope, March, because it's nearly, it's the good part of a year, right? It's gone already. So like everyone, we're waiting with bated breath. We're really excited about what's to come. What's going to be your play when mainnet goes live? Have you got anything up your sleeve, or are you just going to be waiting for the dip?
Well, I didn't do a big investment. I mean, I'll straight everybody. I made it public before. I put $2,300 into PulseChain. That's it. I just want to make sure I have my coins so I could do transactions, those kind of things. I wasn't looking for any staking rewards or any of that. I just wanted to. I'm going to support David because he's been amazing. I'm just going to stake my coins on David's account and let it ride. My PulseX, like I said, I bought much more PulseX. PulseX, I'm going to farm. I'm going to do all the cool tools of DeFi that there's going to be available on the platform. I love it. Be a liquidity provider, do all kinds of cool shit. I think that was more exciting to me. PulseChain is like Ethereum. You hold it for years, and it's going to do very well. But you don't need a ton of it. I do think it's going to rocket on day one launch. This is the only reason why I wish I would have bought more. I thought it was going to launch pretty quick. I thought it was going to be like a 2-month period, then we're going to launch like everybody else. I feel bad for the ones who put a lot of money in, thinking they're going to get their money back. But this is crypto. You just never know. But I think it's going to do very well, just like Tron did. And Tron's launch, when people bought the ICO, they had a quick 100x within 30 days after the launch of Tron. So if Tron could do 100x, I mean, what's PulseChain going to do?
Sure.
There's so many more people in crypto now. You get a couple of these influencers talking about PulseChain. It could just absolutely rocket. And then look, you also have the projects that are being built. I mean, you guys, Liquid Loans is already good to go. I sacrificed my Liquid Loans. I actually sacrificed more money for Liquid Loans than I did for PulseChain.
Wow.
That's crazy. And
so how come you made such a small sacrifice to PulseChain, if you don't mind me asking? You just thought it's going to be around quickly, and you thought...
Yeah, I thought it was going to come quick, and I wasn't going to need to. At first, okay, this is how it works when ICOs launch typically. We have a lot of pent up energy right now, but usually when an ICO would launch, it'd be 4 weeks of a raise or 8 weeks of a raise, and then the launch would happen. We'd have a short term pump, and then we'd have that slow slog where it comes down to find its true value, and then it starts pumping slowly back up.
Sure.
I was betting that I'd be able to get my coins for cheaper because I didn't think that the price would start way higher than 0.0001 or whatever it was, maybe 4 zeros and a 1. I didn't think it would start much higher than that. I was wrong. Okay. But I didn't want to sell my hacks. I didn't want to sacrifice my hacks. I just didn't want to do it. So Hex has been killing it for me. Just the idea of selling Hex was, I say Hex is my baby in one of my videos, and I just didn't want to sell it.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Here, sorry. I actually went to the video. I got to make sure I like it.
So, no worries. So you think that PulseChain just rockets? It never comes back down to sacrifice price or below that?
No way. No way. I don't think that it's too much pent up energy. There's so many people that are there now that, okay, when the original PulseChain money was raised, there was not, you guys had not announced liquid loans yet, I don't think. And we didn't have Mintra. We didn't have Hedron. We didn't have any of this stuff yet. So there was no reason to be super excited that our new chain was going to explode. Yeah, we're going to get copies of our ERC20s, but as a value proposition of a coin doing 100x, I didn't think that was it yet. But now, as I've learned more and more, and I've seen more projects say that they're going to support, like TrustSwap. TrustSwap announced Jeff Predications. There's a couple others that are slowly coming around. That now I have a lot more confidence that it's going to do very, very well. And Richard, one thing I wish I knew and I didn't know is that Hex. It almost took 2 years for Richard to launch Hex, from when he announced it to the time he actually launched it, due to issues with the software and those kind of things. So, issues with the developers. So I didn't know that. now that I know that, maybe I would have been less optimistic.
So do you think that PulseChain goes viral from the get-go, or do you think like the community needs to keep shouting from the rooftops how good it's going to be?
No, it's going to go viral from the get-go. I'm telling you, folks, you get a community, like say the SHIB community, it's huge. And a couple of these really big SHIB guys just tell everyone, hey, dude, we got free coins on PulseChain now. And everyone's gonna be like, what? How much are they worth? They're worth the same, or they're worth 10% of what our other ones are. And some people, they're either gonna go cash it all out. There's others gonna be like, oh, they're only 10% of what the ETH one is. Okay, I'm buying these up. It's gonna cause a frenzy.
Sure.
And these are all things I didn't think about when it was first launched. And now I'm thinking, oh crap, maybe this was part of Richard's plan to not launch it quickly because he wanted the drums to beat for a while to get people excited and increase the beat of the drum, slowly getting that going up and getting everyone pumped up. And then when it does launch, it's going to be like, Wah! It's going to be that mosh pit, man. Like
tension's just built up, like ready to, a steam pressure cooker, right? It's ready to pop.
That's what it's feeling like. And I'm feeling it. Every day I'm like, okay, Richard, where's your tweet? Where's your tweet?
Yeah. Every day, dude. I think everyone watching the stream and me and you, we go to Twitter first thing, Richard Hart's Twitter. Any news on PulseChain, any update?
Come on, man. Come on. Because it's going to be life-changing. And the part that I just told you earlier that I'm coming to Europe here in a couple of weeks in May. And I am hoping and praying it happens before I leave. Because if it happens while I'm in Europe, I'm not bringing my computer with me. I won't have my keys with me. It'll be cool that I'll be forced to just
sit on your hands,
hodl everything, right? But really, I want to participate because we're going for 4 months. Can you imagine? The launch happens when we're overseas, and it's a 4-month hodl, and then I come back to 1,000x or something of PulseChain.
Oh my lord, that'd be great.
And a 200x on liquid loans or something. This would be like good day.
Oh man, that would be the best holiday ever, right? You've gone away, you've seen the world, you've rested, recuperated after all the the COVID lockdowns and stuff, and then you come back to that. It would be like, thank God it kind of
Merry Christmas.
Christmas comes early.
You guys don't know what it's like to have. I mean, I'm sure there's some people in here who have been around a long time, but back in the ICO days of 2017, when you would put your money into an ICO and that thing does 100x in the first couple of weeks, you're like, it just feels amazing. And like, for example, one I always use is AAVE. I put $500 in. It was originally called Lend. I had met the team in Lisbon, Portugal at a Steam conference, Steam, the social media platform. The heck that's, the founder of BitShares made it, but it's okay. So I was at a Steam conference and they were there. the guys from Lend, and they said, "Hey, Randy, could you write an article for us on Steemit?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll write an article." I said, "When's your ICO?" They said, "Oh, it's on right now." So I went back to my room that afternoon, wrote an article while I'm at my hotel in Lisbon, and I did the ICO, put $500 in because I didn't have any much crypto in my MetaMask, and it did a 10x in the first day. I was like, wow, I should participate in more ICOs.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Crypto
cool.
gains, man, they're just crazy, aren't they? How fast they can run up, and obviously how fast it can drop as well. Volatility goes both ways. But
but pay attention though. I did that. It was a 10x, right? But what did AAVE end up doing? When it became AAVE, it went to hundreds of dollars per coin. I bought mine at 1 cent each. They went to hundreds.
And you sold already?
I had already sold between 10 and 20x. So, okay, so this is something that I want all of you guys newbies to learn. 10x is nothing in crypto. Nothing. There'll be some degens that sell on a 5 or a 10 or a 20x, but because of a lot of the PulseChain community are hexagons and they know the power of diamond handing, it's going to be crazy how fast or how far this thing can go. Have you got any price predictions? I don't want to put you on the spot, but everybody loves, 100x or whatever. What do you think? Well, I think that PulseChain's it's going to be between 100 and 200x in the first week. There's going to be so many people that have these other ERC20s that they just doubled their bag and they know they need to get some PulseChain. So they're going to liquidate those ERC20s and put them into Pulse. Now, Richard has said that one of the things that he was waiting for was the ability to make the prices the same at launch on PulseX. I think that's how I understood it. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's how I understood it. If that happens, you're talking about the largest airdrop, not just of tokens, but of monetary value in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Billions for free. Billions.
It's nuts, man. The full system state copy has never been done before. And of course, things have been forked.
Look,
this
man.
is the exciting thing, isn't it?
You guys can't see it, but dude, I got goosebumps. Billions.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, literally forking everything, I mean, people still don't get it. Like you said, and all it takes is one person to go into like the SHIB Telegram, right? And be like, guys, you've got SHIB on PulseChain. Get over it.
I've done it. I've gone in a Telegram. Okay. Oh, remember the night when no, you weren't. I don't think you were in Hex community back then, but we were doing a live stream. It was myself, dollar cost average or dollar cost crypto.
Yeah.
There was somebody else in there. I think it was RG3 or those guys. We were doing our Discord syndicate, and I just checked my Twitter, and someone said, "Hey, look, Uniswap just gave out an airdrop. Go check your Uniswap." And we were live on stream, and I went and checked mine. I got my coins, and I made the announcement to everybody, "Hey, we just got a Uniswap airdrop." I didn't know how much they were. I didn't know how much they were worth at all. Right? All I knew was that I got the tokens, and everyone's like, they were like, "Oh man, $1,200, $1,500. I just swapped it for ETH or swapped it for Hex." It was like, imagine all it took was one tweet, and then just mayhem broke out in the Hex community. And it's the same thing that's going to happen along anything that happens, anything in PulseChain, any ERC20 that becomes a PRC20, and that's every one of them.
It's going to be a feeding frenzy. It's going to be a feeding frenzy, man. It is goosebumps when you think about it, right? I think a lot of us have become lackadaisical because, it's been going on for so long now. We've been waiting for PulseChain that. But when you actually talk about it and you start to logically think it through, there you go, the PulseChain mug right there, the PulseChain merch. When you start to think it through, full system state copy, you've got huge communities like SHIB, Chainlink or whatever, right? Who are going to obviously, of course, even if you don't like Richard Hart and you don't like his products or projects, you're still going to come and dump your free money, right? Who wouldn't?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think a lot of people are going to dump because Richard already wants the bridge. He's building the bridge. He said it might not be available at PulseChain launch, but what if it comes a month later or 2 months later? Then all these coins that people have, if the market cap, or not market cap, but the supply cap is 1 million coins, all of a sudden there's 2 million, right? And there's nothing that the people can do about it. You now have 2 million coins. You just had inflation of 100%. There's nothing you could do. And I've had founders who have reached out to me and said, "Randy, I want to stop that. I don't want that to happen." I'm like, "You're up a creek. you're up the creek. I mean, maybe if you have the keys, you know, some of these companies, they still have the keys. I guess they can invalidate the tokens. But the ones that don't, that are immutable, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, it's out of their hands. Once the fork goes live, right? They can't do anything, like you said, unless they have the keys to it. You said something interesting. You said maybe a month for the bridge. I was thinking a couple of days. What makes you say
maybe it is? Good.
Mm.
If it comes in a couple of days, oh my God. Because what the bridge is going to do is going to allow you to bring your tokens over from Ethereum, where your fees are super high, over to the PulseChain and trade your NFTs and trade your currencies.
NFT bros are going to come over as well, of course.
Yeah. I got a bunch of NFTs. Etaswap is one of my favorite projects, and all my NFTs over there are going to come over to PulseChain. I hope that works out good too. And I actually talked to the CEO, Mike Patel, and he says they are looking at ways of supporting PulseChain. So, I mean, these guys aren't stupid. They're all paying attention. Anybody who's smart, who has a good project, is paying attention to what PulseChain is doing, and they're getting excited. We're all getting excited. I mean, imagine having a project in doing the old school way, and you have 20% of the coins. Well, now you get 20% of the coins times 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
My God. Now they have a real war chest.
It's mind blowing, man. It's mind blowing when you think about it. And literally overnight, bang, it's just there. And now, you know, the park's open for play. Let's go. Let's find out what's going to happen. What are you most excited about on PulseChain project or?
What am I most like? don't kill me, guys. But Pulse Doge.
Yeah.
Because I am all about the little guy. I think Pulse Doge is going to blow people's minds just because they have some really good token economics. They're doing NFT stuff, and I like meme coins. This is for fun, right? I've already got my hacks. I have my liquid loans. I mean, I love liquid loans because you guys you're doing what you're doing, so I don't have to ever sell my Pulse. That's awesome, unbelievable. I have my Hedron. My Hedron's, you know, I'll use that to stake for now on, because then I could have a NFT there and sell the NFT.
So every stake now is going to be a 15-year stake with Hedron.
No. I'm not doing 15s, but I'll put everything on Hedron. Okay. I'll stagger them out. I'll probably have 10 up to about 14. I don't want to go with the group. I'll always stay away from the masses. So if everyone's doing a 55 right now, they're all jumping that way, I'm going to go the other way, and I'll go shorter. Gotcha. And then in the future, you know, once things calm down, then maybe I'll start doing some 55s. Because I don't want the market to be flooded with all 55 Hedron stakes, right? And then there is Mintra. Mintra is looking great. Gerardo's platform. We do need our version of OpenSea on PulseChain, so I invested in that one also. I invested the same amount of money in liquid loans as I did in Mintra. Nice. And I think you're both going to do. You can do great, and no doubt in my mind. And I mean, this is sponsored. This is a liquid loans podcast. So I think that if people are looking to sell their Pulse, be very careful, because you might never get a chance again. This could be the Pulse hex pump, or the hex pump that we had in 2020 that left everyone behind, that thought they can get back into hex. That could happen much faster with PulseChain. So if you're looking to sell your Pulse on day one, you might never be able to buy them back. Don't be that guy, like that video, you know, I sold my hex.
That's funny, man. That guy, he thinks, you know, he sold out, and he's like, great, I took profits, but then you see it run up and stuff like that. And that's what's great about liquid loans, right? Because how many people have been on suicide watch? I mean, you yourself, right? About AAVE, when you saw that.
It's very depressing. People don't think so. At first, you don't think so because, I took some profit. But when you look at that profit, and it could have been millions. It's okay. I got a perfect example for that. So in 2017, we sold a whole bunch of our Steam tokens, and it was either April or May of 2017, and Steam was about 33 cents each. And we sold a bunch, and we bought our Volkswagen T1. Well, by the end of 2017, Steam, I'm not going to say the candle went up, the wick went up to about $7, but it was pretty strong at about $3.50. So about 100x higher. So I call my T1 my VW Lambo, because if I would have just held my steam for 7 more months, I could have gotten something like a Lamborghini Urus, you know. Instead, I still have my T1. I love my T1, but the fact is that if we would have just held for a little bit longer, we would have made an absolute killing.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like, obviously you never know what's going to happen, but when I first heard about liquid loans as well, I was like, this sounds like the dream. You know, you get liquidity, you still hold your crypto, and as long as you keep yourself safe from liquidation, you know, you can always hold on to your Pulse. And if Pulse is going to do what we think it's going to do, why would you sell, lose those coins and never get any future appreciation and create a taxable event for yourself?
Yeah, well, I'd say PulseChain is the coin you do not sell. PulseChain is just the coin you accumulate. So be careful, guys. There is no inflation in PulseChain. So if you're selling your Pulse and say the price does go up and to the right, if it does just like Hex, then be very careful, because you might never have a chance to have your same bags again. Now, okay, say for example, PulseChain is 200x in the first week, and you know you're up a couple $100,000 or something. Yeah, okay, so you take some profits. No one's gonna fault you for that, because that's pretty damn good. But I just think it's better just to hold them and use the liquid loans feature. And I saw Jexxa did a video where he's talking about doing the revolving, where every time the price of Pulse goes up, you take a portion of that.
Oh, Jexxa.
Yeah. You go in and you buy more Pulse, and then you put that right back into the system and take another loan out on that. Just keep doing that revolving. That seems pretty genius to me.
It's called the haunted strategy. Have you seen
the haunted strategy? Yeah, I watched it, and I was like, holy crap. People are too smart for their own good around here.
I mean, compared to, have you seen the comparison of selling? So like selling on a double compared to holding, or just every time it goes up. The haunted strategy is 1,000% collateralized. So you'd have to be, the market would have to retrace by 89% before you're up for liquidation. So you've always got plenty of time to see what's going on. Every time Pulse increases in price by 10%, you mint more stablecoin, go and buy Pulse, and then put it back into your vault. And yeah, it's kind of genius how it works. There's loads of strategies, but that's a very exciting strategy, especially in a bull market, obviously, when everything's going up.
Bull market is great. Bear market can get a little bit hairy, but 89% takes a while. Look, even Hex, this bear market that we're in, we're only down at like 76% right now.
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? We're in a Hex bear market, or we're in a full crypto bear market?
We've been in a bear market for a while. I sold a bunch of Hex at about 42 cents.
Okay.
And then I've been trading it ever since. The chart was so beautiful. I use Aurox for my trading, and use the Aurox trading signal. And whenever it tells me to buy, I buy. Whenever it tells me to sell, I sell on the daily. And I'm looking at it right now. As of yesterday, we do have a sell signal on Hex, and that's all I care about, right? I'm not looking at any like MACD and stuff as cool. They're added features. The demand index is below 0, which means that we're a little bit negative right now. But we're going into this nice little wedge, and the wedge is getting tighter. It's coming down. We're getting tighter and tighter, and we're right at the end of it right now. So now Hex either has to make a decision within the next, let me see, how much longer do we have? About 12 to 13 March is when Hex has to make a decision. It's either going to go down from there, or we're going to pump out. And there's so many external things that can affect Hex. Okay, the crypto market starts doing bad. Say Bitcoin gets hammered, Ethereum gets hammered. Well, we're going to drop out of that candle, or that triangle, and it's going to take us down. This whole decorrelated thing, that news is old. I mean, that worked while we were in the bull market, but not so much in the bear market. I think we're going down with everybody else. But we're going into this wedge. It's narrowing it more and more. We've got 11 more days or 10 more days until it hits the end of it. Let's see what happens. My bet is that we're going up. We're getting way too close to PulseChain launch now. If Richard announces version 3 coming out, holy shit. Hold on to your pants.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that that's the last thing that we need to do before PulseChain launch.
Yeah, I think once we get some PulseChain news, it starts to rip. Until then the chart is, come on, let's be honest, this is boring as hell. It's just going sideways, obviously trickling down. You know, we had that pump up. When was it? Just before, was it on the Pulse X sacrifice? We got up to about 35 or 34 cents.
Yep.
And then it's been downhill since then.
I sold a bunch there too, because I'm trading it, right? I knew the PulseX launch was coming, so that last time it went down to about, I was really buying it off 15 cents, and then when it went up to 30, I started selling, and you know, that's what I've been using for my daily expenses and those kind of things, and we did really well. I tripled our liquid hex bags. It's been a good trading session. I don't recommend everyone trade, but I mean, I just use signals. There's no emotion involved for me whatsoever. I just follow what Aurox tells me. I did know that PulseX was launching, and the signals did not know that. So I actually went in. It was a red candle. It was a red arrow the day that I bought heavy, and it still went down to 12 cents that day. The last time it bottomed out, and I bought in and did very well off that trade. Sometimes these signals, they don't know what's happening.
Market sentiment.
Yeah, they don't understand the sentiment. They don't know the news that's coming. They don't know that stuff. But it's a good extra thing to look at, to say, hey, maybe I should buy this. Just check it out. GetAurox.com. It's absolutely free. It's TradingView on steroids, but free.
Okay.
You don't have to pay anything. I know TradingView charges a pretty decent fee.
So you're trading just to increase your hex position. You're not taking profits or anything like that, or?
Sure, I took a little bit. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm paying the bills and things like that.
Nice.
I don't like selling my crypto, but we got rid of all of our clients. We're down to 2 clients, Aurox, and my wife has another client that she works with for doing marketing, online marketing. We don't do much anymore. So, you know, our crypto is where it's at. That's what pays our bills, and Hex is a portion of that.
Sure.
You know, Hex, Ediswap, Aurox. I mean, my Aurox tokens, they were so smart. They called me up and they asked me when they were launching their project how they can do a time lock like Hex did, and theirs go to a maximum of 5 years. So that's what I did with my Aurox tokens, and earn yield from that. So Hex has been a real trailblazer. A lot of projects have looked at that. Connect Financial was another one that I'm part of that also does the locked feature for periods of time. So I don't know. I think that Hex really changed the whole crypto space.
That delayed gratification, isn't it? I think Richard's really started a trend, and it's true what he says. You know, in all of life, nothing happens overnight, right? Whether you want to get in shape or learn a language or whatever, you need to delay gratification and have patience. And I think that, you know, we've seen that. You know, if you just held Bitcoin instead of trying to trade it, are you really going to beat the 6.9 million X? So
I traded Bitcoin for years, and I'm net negative because I had some really bad days. I lost one day 7 Bitcoin. This is back in 2017.
Ouch.
You know, so their trading is not healthy, guys. Really not good for your mental health.
Yeah.
I remember that day when that happened. I was depressed for 2 weeks, and then Bitcoin went. That was September of 2017. And then it went on to go to almost $20,000 a token by December. And talk about and then on top of that, on December 7th or 8th, I went to Bogota, Colombia for the Latin American Bitcoin conference. And I had lunch with Trace Mayer. I don't know if you guys know who Trace Mayer is. And he called me a gambler because I told him what had happened. And he goes, "That's what you get. You're a gambler." And, that kind of woke me up. And thank God for Hex, because it really saved me from having to worry about that. You know, 98% of all my Hex is staked, so I'm not worried.
Nice, man. Yeah, trading, I tried a bit of it and it was just too stressful. And I got liquidated, leverage trading. And yeah, that's when I found Hex. I was like, this isn't what I want. I want to be staked, earning yield, and trying to increase my position. And
it's changing so much. This DeFi stuff has changed our whole. I mean, I would be super, super wealthy right now if we had these tools back when I got into crypto.
Yeah.
Super, super wealthy, but we didn't. All we had was either the hodl or the trade. And because the hodling was boring, I was drawn to the trading, and I wrecked myself. So if people say, "Oh, Randy, you're going to get wrecked with your Hex trading," no, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm good. Yeah. This trade's been going on since when Hex hit the peak of 50 something cents, and I've been absolutely killing it. So I'm not too worried.
So talking about delayed gratification, did you lock up your liquid loan sacrifice, your loan token?
No, I did not. No, I did not. And that's just because I've been around for so long with ICOs and I've been burned. It's nothing against you guys. If I start to see if there's something wrong, I want to be able to take my profits.
Sure. Are you going to be staking your loan token though when it comes out?
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't believe it. We have so many options today. So don't just hold your tokens and sit them in your wallet and do nothing with them, right? I know that contradicts what I say about my Hex that I'm trading with, but the Hex trade has been so amazing over the last couple of months that it just made sense. But tokens like Loan and Mintra and just PulseChain is too fresh, too new. If you're investing, if you believe that PulseChain is going to be the next big thing, then you don't want to trade your tokens. If it's the next Hex and say Liquid Loans does 1,000x and Mintra does a 500x and PulseChain does 10,000 in the next 2 years and 2,000x on PulseX, don't sell your tokens. Stake them, compound, and make tons of money just from doing that.
Yeah, I think you can't go wrong, finding good projects, getting in early, staking, getting yield. And obviously it's the holy grail now, like you said, compared to before when you just had buy and hold. And most people can't do that because humans like to be active. We want to do something. So you trade and end up getting wrecked, compared to getting into something like Hex or PulseChain or PulseX or Liquid Loans, where most likely you're going to see good price appreciation along with yield on that. So what are you most saying that? What are you most excited? I mean, I know you're excited about Pulse Doge, but what do you think performs the best in the first 12 months on PulseChain out of like everything that's going to go beyond there?
What's going to perform the best? I'm going to have to go with PulseChain just because of everything we know now.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that way in launch, but I think that way now. Second best, I'm going to say Pulse Doge. I just, because people aren't paying attention to it. And it's kind of like forgotten for the moment. And I think that's on purpose. It's like that silent lurker in the room that nobody wants to acknowledge, but they got some pretty damn good marketing features. I don't know how Liquid Loans is going to perform. I care more about using the system.
Yeah.
That's what I care about with your project. And how I understand it is some of the fees are going to go back to the people that are staking.
Yep.
So
that's it. The loan stakers get all the fees. So anyone who opens a new loan or redeems Pulse, redeems USDL for Pulse, all those fees go to the loan stakers.
That's just what happened with Liquidity. Liquidity's still going strong, guys. It's been around forever. Imagine if they would have staked their Liquidity from day one, and how much compounding would they have had over these years. So yeah, just follow that. Makes sense to me.
Super exciting, man. I really hope it does come out in March because I just think the community needs it, right? There's a lot of tension on Twitter and infighting, and I just think it's going to be everyone's going to be.
I love making fun of them. I love making fun of these people.
Oh man, you brighten my day. Like I said, when I see your tweets and I just see you drop truth bombs on them, and whenever I see you put a little reply under something, it brightens my day, and I always like it because.
Yeah, I think Nerd Girl and I really got that going last year.
Yes,
when the maxi stuff was happening, and neither one of us tolerated it because we've been part of so many projects, not just part of, but part of the teams. And when you see it and you're in the team, you cringe. You're like, oh no, not one of these people, because they turn other people off.
Yeah.
They think they're helping, but they're actually repulsive. People don't want to be around people like that. They're like, oh, get away from me. You're disgusting, man.
Misery loves company, right?
Yeah, stop slobbing the knob, man. Just there's room for others, okay? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, if you didn't have an open mind, no one would have got into Hex in the first place. So I think you definitely have to have some discernment, and obviously, it's crypto, right? So you can't just ape into everything. But and this is not just about Hex or crypto, but when you lock into a mindset where it's like, I won't listen to anyone, and if anyone tells me anything, I'm going to stick my fingers in my ears and be like, la 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 la, then you're gonna hamper your life a lot. So
well, I mean, I lost little over 1,000 followers on Twitter when I announced that I was supporting Hex.
Yeah, you went through quite a lot of shit with your old company or something, right? Is that correct?
Oh, that too. And that was another one. They kept calling Hex a scam. But when I first got into Hex, I was writing articles about Hex. I was the only one writing articles on a Google authorized website that would go into Google News. So I wrote, I think it was four total, but only 3 of them really did well before they kicked me off the team because I was writing about Hex. And people were talking shit. They were saying, "Oh, Randy, you're promoting a scam. Oh, it's the next BitConnect," and those kind of things. I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then Andreas Antonopoulos publicly called me a scammer. Another guy I know personally that I can't stand that guy. So I think I lost about 200 followers that day when Andreas called me a scammer. So, thanks, Andreas. And then yesterday he goes and makes an announcement that he thinks all the stuff that's happening in Canada, the people that were the truck drivers, that he thinks that they should all be get punished for what they did. And I'm like, wait, freedom and liberty. Are you on the wrong side of this history, buddy?
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. I saw that clip and I just thought you're meant to be a Bitcoin advocate, which is a libertarian, and you're talking you're saying that people don't have rights to go and express their opinion. Yeah. Weird world, man. Clown world that we're living in these days, I think.
Absolutely. And he was the one, I really lost respect for him because of the way he treated my wife at a couple of conferences, but she just wanted a picture with him. He was just really, get away from me, type thing. It was just really mean. Wow. My wife's hot. I thought that was kind of odd. And twice he did it to her. And then he goes and then tweets the stuff out about me and just talks bad about other people and tells the guys at Bitcoin Cash that they shouldn't have their booth babes. At all the conferences.
Richard said something on his stream that he won't go to conferences where there's like hot chicks that work at the conference.
Yeah, I remember in 2018 at the Anarchapulco conference, Bitcoin Cash had all their girls there working the booths, and they're all in bikinis and stuff, and that's what he's talking about. The girls handing out the Bitcoin Cash flyers and things like that.
What's it to him?
I don't know. Maybe he's a Karen. he's a
Bitcoin Karen.
He's a Bitcoin Karen. Gotcha. Hey, Andreas Antonopoulos, you are a Bitcoin Karen.
Well, listen, dude, I've really enjoyed this, man. I really enjoy your take on stuff, and you'll have to come back on the stream soon. Sure. But where can everyone find more about you and your content?
Just right here, Randy Hilarski, everywhere. Check me out on YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too if you guys want to connect professionally. I've got tons of connects on LinkedIn. And also Twitter. I got banned from Facebook. I still have it's amazing. I still have my Instagram. They didn't ban that one. Okay. But I don't use much anymore. Twitter's my main place. I set up a Getter account. Apex is coming back online. That's those came from the Steam world where I can earn money on social media from just posting pictures and stuff. I just got to get the app sorted out. Hopefully I'll have that sorted before I get over there. I can show you how to use it because it's a lot of fun. People should always be marketing to other people that are in crypto. So Steam, Hive, Library, Apex, these are all social media platforms that also have crypto. So those are great places to post your content to. And that's always a little snippet that I like to tell folks.
Cool, man. Well, listen, you'll have to come back on the podcast when PulseChain's live, and we'll see how our
predictions
and stuff, and see
200x.
Yeah, what do we say? 200x in the first what? Couple of weeks.
200x. Let's say in 90 days. 100x in the first week. 200x in 90 days. Let's go for that.
It's on record now, man. Cool. Well, listen, bro. Thanks a lot. Stay in touch, and I'll have to bring you back on soon.
All right, Matt. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Cheers, Randy. Take care. Guys, Randy Hilarski, the man, the myth, the legend. I really enjoy his perspective and outlook on Hex, PulseChain, all that good stuff. If you like the video, guys, do hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified every time we drop new videos. You can also share the video with someone who you think it may benefit. Tap the like button, and you can also drop a comment below if you're watching the playback. It does help us out for the algo. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.